Welcome back, everyone. It's been an interesting week. It's been probably an interesting month or two, to be honest, with the stock market. We've seen quite some significant dips, and then we've seen a bit of a rebound from the market. So hopefully everyone's holding on and in it for the long game, the long-term profits. I've bought into two new stocks. They are Westgold, and I've increased my stake in Apple quite significantly. And I've been looking to pull the trigger on BMW for quite a while, but I haven't. So we're just going to discuss that a little bit as well. So let's head over to the desktop and we'll have a look at some of these stories, fundamentals, and we'll also look at the charts a little bit with these three stocks. Right, let's just get the painful one out of the way first, because I'm absolutely kicking myself over this one. BMW, really have liked it for a long time. Going to be quite prevalent in the EV space. Probably not necessarily seen by a lot of people as a growth stock, more of a value stock, with quite a decent PE ratio and generous dividends. PE's at 15, earnings per share 5.3, and you got 3.14% yield. Now, I was toing and froing whether I should buy in a little bit before the div date, which is next month. In May, which is 2 months away. Decided I wanted to buy in earlier. This is probably about a month or two ago, and it's just gone up and up. I said to myself I'm going to wait for a dip, and it just hasn't dipped. I really like it. I just like to buy a little bit after the dip quite often, and it just hasn't dipped. Now I was looking to buy in around February, and it's just, what's going on with this chart? Let's go 1 month. I was looking in this whole time, just waiting for a dip, very close here. But that's when everything was started collapsing a bit, and I just thought I might just hold my money on the side a bit, and everything kept collapsing, but BMW kept on going up. Kept on going up and up and up, and it's just, it's, what percentage that? Can't see exactly, but that's probably about 12% rise in less than a month that I've missed out on there, which is quite disappointing. I don't really know what more I can say about that. I've really missed. I feel like I've missed the boat on that one. I'm not sure what I'll do. I do want to wait for another dip. It does pay generous dividends. I didn't necessarily buy it as a growth stock. I wanted to add some value, some dividend stocks into my portfolio. And I think BMW, especially over the long term, it's a really solid company. It always has been. If we can just look, it's had a solid share price since the early 2000s, and always paid out generous dividends. So really kicking myself over that one. Hopefully, if it dips below 75 now, I'm thinking I'll buy in. So that's that out of the way. I don't really want to talk about that much more, to be perfectly honest. Our next one was Westgold. So I wanted to buy into gold for quite a while as well. Gold's been on the decline for quite some time. Westgold is a gold mining company based out in Perth. Again, nice PE ratio. Pretty good earnings for the most part. Is another thing. BMW has extremely good earnings as well. Where do we find that on this site? Is it here? I'm used to using the there it is, financials. I'm used to using the mobile site. What is going on here? Anyway, I don't need to show you that. It does have, it's reported quite good profit for quite some time, several years. There you go. Nearly getting close to the 50 million earnings last year. So pretty positive. It's really been on a downtrend since the gold price has been going down, really. But I bought in after a little bit of an uptrend. Let me just show you what I've been doing with it. which one's Westgold? This is a mobile app that I use. Like I said, I do most of my trading on a mobile app just because it's quicker, easier, and you can do it wherever you want. I'm just making the videos on the computer, so apologies for a little bit of, if there's a lack of cohesion with it. Yeah, so sort of getting interested around when it was stagnating, and I was going to wait for a bit of a downtrend, which I have, and then I've drawn this trend line. I drew this trend line about here. Yeah, so early to mid-Feb. And it got close to pulling out of the downtrend. My entry price was always going to be when it pulled out of this downtrend. And I bought in right at this point here. This was a few days ago. It's even gone up further from here. I think I took this screenshot yesterday morning, so I think it's up around here now. So it looks like it's pulling out of that downtrend quite nicely. Not necessarily reflected in the gold price. I think gold's still going down a little bit, but hopefully it pulls out of the downtrend and gets back to some of the highs it was earlier in the year, and earlier in 2020 it was even higher when the gold price was really soaring. So yeah, I like Westgold as a gold company. I've wanted to get into gold for quite some time, so I'm pretty happy with that purchase, and we've seen a little bit of short-term rise from it. I think I'm up 3 or 4%, which is always what you want to see when you first buy in. It gives you a bit of reassurance. So yeah, happy with that purchase. And then finally, Apple's another one. So I really didn't have too much invested in Apple. I mean, I'm in several ETFs that hold quite significant shares of Apple, but I don't have too much of Apple by itself, which is not necessarily a problem. But it's my favorite tech company by far, and their dividends are good, their PE ratios are nice. There's a lot of things to like about Apple. They're getting into the EV space, which again, big focus of mine. They've just released an announcement about these MR headsets that I really like. I think they'll be quite prevalent in the future. They're these sort of headsets that you put on, and it's a bit like augmented reality, but you've obviously got the whole headset on, and then 10 years time they want to make it into sunglasses that you can like sort of alter your reality and add things and into your everyday reality. And then I think 20-year plan was to have them as actual contact lenses, that everyone's just going to be wearing these contact lenses, and we'll be able to sort of alter our reality. So I like that Apple's sort of delving into that. Yeah. So I did buy in. We've seen a big downtrend with Apple, with all tech stocks, to be honest. Google's the only one that's been somewhat resilient over the past month. But yeah, Apple's taken quite a hit, and it's almost what I wanted, to be honest. I was holding quite a bit of money on the side, and I just wanted to buy in during a downtrend. So it was very high. I've sort of been looking at it for, I don't know what this chart is. This is the wrong bit. Let's just look at this screenshot I took. So this is the trend line I drew here. I drew that trend line about there. Been watching since. I got close to buying in there. I sort of went against my instincts a little bit, but maybe this trend line was a little bit too flat. I've bought in here. Sort of a little bit of gain. I think it's about back to here now. So I'm pretty even. This screenshot was taken a day or two ago. So yeah, I'm happy with that purchase. I really like Apple. Something that really pushed me over the line was that Buffett, I think everyone knows Warren Buffett, everyone loves him. He's got around 42% of his Berkshire Hathaway stocks in Apple, which is a huge amount for someone like that. I would have thought he'd be far more diversified than that, but yeah, he loves Apple, so that was the final ticker for me. I just bought in at this little bit of an uptrend. This is exactly where I bought here. Yeah, so pretty happy with that. They're, we can talk about how strong their financials are, and they've blown their earnings out of the water and everything. Probably don't need to go over it, to be honest. Decent PE ratio for a tech stock. I mean, let's just have a look at what Google is, for example. 35, so a bit higher. And then you got things like Tesla that are probably dropped a little bit lately, but yeah, 1,043. What's another one? Facebook. 26. So yeah, I mean it's around the mark where you want it to be. Yeah, so happy with those two purchases. Kicking myself about the BMW buy, but you know, what can you do? You win some, you lose some. Not going to lose too much sleep over it. Hopefully it dips a bit and I can buy in at some stage. So that's where I'm at now. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments how you've been traveling over the past month, and if you've taken a bit of a hit or whether you've seen some growth. If you've seen some growth, I'll be very interested, because most of my friends have taken quite a significant hit. So yeah, let me know. Thanks, guys.